and welcome to the second discussion in our four-part series of videos from Fluid Power World and the experts from Tribute as we delve into best practices for industrial distribution. I'm Mary Gannon, editor of Fluid Power World, and today I'm joined by Bill Horrigan, Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Tribute. We're going to be talking about inventory management today. As we highlighted before, Bill has more than 35 years experience in working in distribution and has visited more than 1,600 shops throughout his career, so he's seen just about everything. So thanks for joining us today, Bill.
Thank you, Mary.
Bill, it seems especially now as we continue to deal with shipping delays, inventory is always on top of everyone's minds. But this isn't just a pandemic conversation. We should always be working to develop successful inventory management practices. Can you tell us what is the most common practices that you've come across over the years?
First, the inventory delays will eventually correct itself. We're slowly seeing us coming out of it, and that will take care of itself over time. What won't take care of itself is the distributors doing a better job of managing their inventory. You know, having been into that many distributors, it's amazing that when I go into companies today, this day and age, that they're still using the min-max methodology, for example, to manage their inventory, which it's a good practice, but it's used only in certain situations, or only should be used in certain situations. So there's a lot better methodologies to be used, like EOQ, order up to, turns, seasonal. There's many different methodologies for this industry. What I'm seeing is these people that are using min-max, what's happening is it doesn't take into account the basic reorder point stuff. For example, like the forecast of monthly demand, the lead time, the standard deviations, any spikes or any seasonal things. So although it's been around for a long time, but there's better methodologies that these distributors should be using, and new ERP systems today can obviously accommodate this stuff. So,
Great. So obviously min-max is a no-go. Let's talk a little bit about some of the other options and some of the key performance indicators that we should be looking at as we delve into this best practices.
First and foremost, inventory obviously is driven by demands, right? So you're not going to buy inventory unless there's demand for it. First and foremost, from that point, if you should be tracking lost sales. If somebody calls up and asks for a particular item and you don't have it, and the CSR just says, "Yeah, we don't have it. We'll get back to you," it typically never makes it to the purchasing agent. So they have no idea that they need to fulfill that need, or they ask for something else and you don't even carry it. But again, if the CSR doesn't communicate back to the purchasing or inventory control folks, that never gets rectified. So I think if you start tracking the lost sales aspect of it up front, when somebody calls in and inquires about something, you'll be able to pick up on that and manage that more effectively and make sure you can service the customer better, going back to the overall improvement of customer experience. With that being said, bin management would dovetail really nice into that, because I still walk into shops today. It's amazing that they just have inventory scattered all over the place. And I ask them where an item is, and they'll say, "Well, there's a couple over there, and there's a couple over there." And I'll say, "How do you know where they're at?" "Well, we've been here a long time. We know where it's at." I'm like, "Yeah, okay. What happens when you hire somebody new?" "Well, we'll tackle that when we get there." But so I think they really need to take the time to set up a really good bin management system. And again, good ERP systems, what they'll do is they will allow you to have standard bins where, for example, if you're receiving something in and there's an inspection issue, it would automatically move it to an inspection bin. If there's an issue where it needs to be shipped right back out the door, you're not putting it away and pulling it off the shelf, it'll move it to a turnaround bin. Or it'll say, "This needs to go to work in process." And last but not least, they'll go to the shelf. So a good inventory management system will really improve the efficiency and the productivity of the warehouse, which again enhances the overall customer experience. But
organization is key.
Yes.
And it seems like with bin management, sort of the next natural step would be barcoding and RFID, correct?
Yeah.
Take it with there?
Yeah. I mean, so what's happening is businesses, if you interview most businesses, what they do is they'll shut down at the end of the year for 5 days and do a physical inventory. And it's not very effective. There's better methodologies in, for example, doing cycle counting. If you count X number of parts per day, for example, best practice in the industry says that if you count your A items once a quarter, your Bs once a half, and your Cs once a year, and you continue on with that process, your inventory will be much more accurate than it would be if you just did a physical inventory once a year. With that being said, it's a little bit more difficult to do it without a good ERP system, because you have to print off a piece of paper and you got to walk around, write it down, go to the screen, and then key it in. But the newer ERP systems they allow you to connect using an RFID device or a remote device. So electronic scanners where they can walk around wirelessly, and in the morning it would have uploaded all those items. They can scan the shelf, key in the quantity, and then it's real-time updating of inventory. And it stays a lot more accurate again because you're counting the items that are being touched the most often, and that's where the mistakes get made.
Right, and that probably helps increase efficiency and productivity as well, just in general.
Yeah, because these new technologies, what they do is, it's kind of neat, is that they don't got you walking all over the warehouse. So there's like an order pulling process in these guns and these scanners where if there's 5 orders in that gun, you're not walking back and forth to the shelf 5 different times. It'll tell you to go to shelf A and grab all these for all these different orders. So it takes into account like the number of steps, where you walk, and the efficiency gain and the time saving is astronomical by using those devices.
And it's just modern technology and data collection that everyone's moving towards. So getting on the road to that path is definitely the future, for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Bill, for giving us a little bit of insight into inventory management. Next time, we're going to be talking about key performance indicators and metrics and how you can use those to improve your business as well. Thanks again, Bill, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So please make sure you visit tribute.com for more information. And as always, visit fluidpowerworld.com for more information. Thank you for watching.